What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of the show. Today we're going to take a look at a bit of the history of a very cool character from Marvel Comics. And it's mostly going to be the early part of the history of Iron Fist. Right after the success of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, Marvel wanted to create another kind of martial arts character. So between Roy Thomas and Gil Kane, writer and artist, they created in Marvel Premiere number 15 from 1974, Danny Rand, the character of Iron Fist. So, of course, this is the origin issue. You guys have seen, I showed this off not that long ago. I just picked this up a couple months back. This is obviously a very important key, the first ever appearance of this particular character. Kung Fu action in the mighty Marvel manner. And Iron Fist would premiere in Marvel Premiere, which is basically like an umbrella title, meant to promote new characters, new storylines, in hopes that they catch on with the public. And if they do, they move them into their own series. And that's eventually what happened here. Although this took a little bit longer to kind of get off the ground. I mean, Iron Fist ran in Marvel Premiere for a while, actually, and it wasn't until about 10 issues or so that they finally gave him his own book. So here we have issue number 16, and again, lots of different artists worked on this book. You had Gil Kane on the first, but then we got a series of different artists like Larry Hama, who I believe started with this particular issue right here. Arvell Jones also did a couple issues. Pat Broderick. We also got a little bit of John Byrne, very early John Byrne work on here. Most of the covers were from Gil Kane, one by Jim Starlin. You'll see the difference when we get to that one right here. But here we have Jaws of the Dragon against the Sith, issue number 16. Then the third issue here, we have Against the Citadel of Vengeance, another Gil Kane cover. And this ran about, Iron Fist appeared for about a year. I believe it was May 1974 to October 1975. So a little over a year in Marvel Premiere before they launched his own book. Here we have, this is the first one I ever bought. This is still my original copy, bought off the newsstand back in whatever year this was. So I guess this is probably still 1974, issue number 18 of Marvel Premiere. Another Gil Kane cover there. Here we have the Jim Starlin cover, so this is issue number 19. Death Cult of the Katakai. Awesome cover there. And then we have issue number 20, which is kind of, let's bring in a very known villain, right? Why not? Batroc the Leaper. Of course, a foe of Captain America. So for those, just talk a little bit about the history of Danny Rand and the character. Of course, he goes to this kind of mythical country called Kunlun, and that's where he gets the power of the Iron Fist, right? He can kind of get one with his key and summon all this power in his fist, where it has the power of flaming hot iron, right? That's kind of the whole thing, right? And he's a professional martial arts dude as well. Danny Rand's family, of course, multi-millionaires, own this whole business and everything like that. So there's this whole kind of subplot with the evil corporate empire, right? Very, very cool stuff. Very different for the time. Here's issue number 21. Vengeance of the Death Goddess. Again, another Gil Kane cover. I also bought this one off the stand. I had this one in my collection for quite a while. Issue number 22. Going up against the Ninja. And then we've got issue number 23, going up against Warhawk. And then the second to last appearance in Marvel Premiere is number 24 versus the Monstroid. So here we have for the first time him going up against something other than like either a known villain or another kind of like martial arts villain, so to speak, right? And here we have the last one. So this is number 25. Angar the Screamer. So that proved to do pretty well. They represented and introduced the character. Fans were buying into it. So of course then they gave him his own issue. So he shows up with issue number 1. And why not, to help the first issue, let's have him duke it out. Iron Fist against Iron Man. The Duel of Iron. Fun issue right there. And then we've got issue number 2. And various people working on the covers here. You know, I got some Gil Kane, Keith Pollard is this next one, which is issue number 3. Against the Ravager. And issue number 4 against Radion. Another Gil Kane cover. Issue number 5 against the Scimitar. This one I've had in my collection since I bought it off the shelf. Some of these I bought afterwards, but or later on. Here we got issue number 6. Colleen Wing, right? Of course, one of the, you had Misty Knight and Colleen Wing were 2 of the main side characters in this particular book, right? Very cool female characters, one of whom would fall into a romantic relationship with Danny Rand, and actually was, I believe it's been documented, that was the first interracial relationship in comic book history, right? Danny Rand, a white guy, and Misty, a black lady. No big deal nowadays, right? But back then, that was something, right? Here we have issue number 7. Also, have had this in my collection since bought it off the stand. Against Kumbala Bay. Issue number 8. Always love this cover, right? It's a John Byrne cover right there. Awesome stuff. That'd be great on a t-shirt, I think. Let's see. Issue number 9. Good action cover. Always love this one here. Issue number 10. Showing you how powerful that Iron Fist can be. There's Misty and Colleen on the cover. Oh, we still Colleen Wing was a great character. Actually, they're both great. Very Misty Knight. Here's number 11. Against the Wrecking Crew. Gil Kane cover there. Always liked the Wrecking Crew. They didn't win many battles, but you know what? The Wrecker and Thunderball and company. Good stuff. And then let's, by this time, I think they're starting to, interest and sales are starting to struggle a little bit, so why not bring in Captain America for a battle with Iron Fist? Hopefully people will buy this, right? Why not? Good cover on here. I don't remember who did this particular cover. And then Boomerang. Back again, deadlier than ever. Issue number 13. And then an absolute key. This is a very expensive book. I bought this off the rack. I've had it all these years. For the longest time, I never thought this issue was anything special, but now, of course, it is, because it's the debut, first ever appearance of Sabretooth, issue number 14. Again, back in the day, when I bought this, I was like, oh, cool, another new villain, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, because Sabretooth has become a legendary villain in the annals and history of the X-Men and featured in films and whatnot, this has become a major, major issue, right? Cool stuff. And then last but not least, issue number 15, final battle against the X-Men. Because, of course, got a mutant in the issue before. Evil mutants, good mutants. This particular issue also leaves some unresolved stuff towards the end, which the series got canceled at the time, and they wound up tying in that little subplot against the Steel Serpent in Marvel Team Up, issue number 63 and 64. So Iron Fist and Spider-Man teamed up to kind of finish off that whole storyline that never got quite resolved in the Iron Fist series itself. And then just not that, a couple short years later, in issue number 48 of Luke Cage Power Man, formerly Hero for Hire, Iron Fist and Luke Cage collide. They initially fight, and all the ladies are involved in that as well. You get Misty and Colleen and Claire Temple. Everybody's involved, right? They wind up settling their differences, and they form a partnership. So issue 48 and 49 is kind of the beginnings of that. And then with issue 50, I didn't pull those. I got a bunch of those too as well. It's kind of like a story for another day, the continuation of Iron Fist. But then, of course, Luke Cage and Danny Rand as Iron Fist and Power Man become the new heroes for hire. So they form a partnership, form a business. They're the new heroes for hire, going and, getting paid to go stop bad guys and take care of problems and issues. And we would have that for about, I think, till went from issue 50 to 125, if I'm not mistaken. And then they shockingly would kill off Danny Rand. I think he had wound up having cancer and he wound up dying, but then they later on threw in a little subplot that he wasn't really dead because the Danny Rand that died was a doppelganger. So the real Danny Rand was still alive, I believe, and he somehow, Namor the Submariner got involved and he found the real Danny Rand, and Danny Rand is back. And so we had lots of different series and heroes for hire combinations in years since. And I believe there is someone now. I think Danny Rand eventually retired, and there is someone now who has taken on the mantle of the Iron Fist with full approval from Danny Rand, a younger character. So where all that's going today, I don't know because I haven't read most of that stuff. But yeah, as far as the early origins, there you go. Iron Fist, a great character, a great martial arts character, and kind of cool to see both Shang-Chi and Iron Fist debuting, roughly about the same time. Also, there's if you want more of the complete story of Iron Fist 2, there are also a bunch of issues where he appears in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which is the black and white magazine that was mostly a showcase for Shang-Chi, as well as other martial arts characters like the White Tiger, and like I said, Iron Fist did show up from time to time there. So there's that as well. If you want to kind of get the whole picture of Iron Fist from the 70s, you got to kind of investigate that as well. So there you have it, everybody. Thanks for watching this kind of like early history look at the character Iron Fist, Danny Rand the Iron Fist. And let us know what you think of this character down in the comments below. Any thoughts you might have, any of your favorite issues from all of this stuff, please put it down below. We'll see you next time here on Comic Book Geezers. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we got the links to the Sea of Tranquility merch page where you can get yourself a Comic Book Geezers t-shirt or coffee mug. Thanks for your support there. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff I am P. Pardo. Thanks for watching Comic Book Geezers. See you soon. Bye-bye.